If you've played on the Ark official servers, you probably know about the massive black market where people try to sell in-game items for real money. Maybe you saw one of these ad bots in global chat, or you've joined a Mega Sellers Discord server with thousands upon thousands of active members catering to the business. Not only that, but these large sellers charge exorbitant prices, often $15 or more just for a single dinosaur that takes them literally minutes to create. Attempting to engage in actual trade in these servers either results in you getting ghosted or made to overpay obscene amounts for what you could get just for a few dollars. However, there is a brighter side to this situation. While I was going to get an interview with one of the owners of a mega server, they all either ghosted me or were not pleased with my intentions. So instead, I got an interview with Nubby Nub. Nubby and his tribe are built up on extinction, and they run a much smaller, down-to-earth shop which they dubbed the Nub Hub. Despite only having around 50 members, when I joined, it was just as well set up as the other much larger servers. Their prices were far more reasonable than the mega shops, and I was easily able to directly contact the owners instead of getting ignored because I wasn't throwing money in their faces. The link to their Discord is in the description if you want to go check it out. After explaining to them a bit of what my goal with this video was, they eagerly agreed to participate in this interview, even running me a Forest Titan thanks for my efforts. Question 1. How much time do you put into running the shop each week? Does it feel more like a side hustle or a full-time gig? Right now, it's definitely more of a side hustle. I put in around 10 to 15 hours a week depending on the demand, but that could easily increase if our shop sees more traction. I know that some of the big sellers you were talking about do this as if it was their full-time job, working 80+ hour weeks. Question 2. What are some of the biggest challenges you face running a shop like this? We need more traction and more customers to grow bigger. Also, trust issues. Since we aren't a huge shop, people are cautious at first. We also had to grind everything by hand, so inventory management can be a bit rough. Question 3. Have you ever been worried about bans, scams, or toxic customers? All the time. Getting banned is always in the back of my mind, but I take precautions and try not to be too reckless. Scammers exist too. Some people act friendly and then try to rip you off. There are a few toxic customers, but for every bad one, there's a chill player who just wants some help getting started. From my experience, there are far more toxic sellers than toxic customers. Question 4. What's your take on people who say RMT ruins the game? I get where they're coming from, but I think it depends on how it's done. If someone's massive shop is just dumping duped gear for absurd prices and wrecking balance, sure, that ruins it. But most of my customers are casual players or small tribes who just don't have 12 hours a day to grind. For them, it keeps the game playable and fun. I see it more as leveling the playing field. Question 5. Have you ever had to deal with drama from big tribes, rival sellers, or insiders? A little bit, yeah. The RMT market definitely has its politics. I've had bigger tribes try to corner the market on certain dinos. Question 6. Do you think smaller sellers like you bring more value or balance compared to massive duping operations? Definitely. Massive sellers usually don't care about quality or service. Smaller sellers like me are more hands-on, we're careful with our stock, read things properly, and treat customers like people, not transactions. It's more personal, and I think that's where the value is. Question 7. How do you try to stay fair or trustworthy with your customers? I treat every deal like it's my first impression. Since we're a newer shop, it basically always is. I always make sure everything's ready and clarified before meeting up. We don't rush people and never ghost customer. If someone isn't happy, I ask what I can do to make it right, even if it means a change on my part. I want people to feel like they can trust me so I can continue to grow. Question 8. If you could talk directly to Wildcard, what would you say? I'd say people wouldn't be turning to RMT if the official game loop wasn't so brutal. Players just want to enjoy the game without losing everything every week to glitches or mega tribes. Fix the grind, make PvP more balanced, and the black market wouldn't be as necessary. But until then, they are still going to have issues with this, regardless of how many people they ban or shut down.